You guys heard of InvestFest?
Yo, I just want to say, I didn't know what that was.
You didn't?
Until y'all told me.
Right.
And I went down the rabbit hole.
You didn't know what InvestFest was?
No. And I didn't know listen, I would be lying if I haven't heard in this world, Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Had no idea what it was. And I went down a rabbit hole and I was like, oh, grifters.
You think they're
I
grifters?
get it. Absolutely they're
Okay,
grifters.
well, let me give everybody,
in my opinion.
Let me preface everybody with, a little background info. So Earn Your Leisure founders, Rashad and Troy, were publicly criticized. Well, they publicly criticized Atlanta, which is where they have InvestFest. And they said that InvestFest generates millions for the economic, for the city.
Right.
But they haven't received any local support from the city of Atlanta. And after public debate, both sides did express, well, the mayor responded to that. And they eventually, they expressed their grievances, and they eventually came together, and the mayor came to InvestFest, and they kind of basically they pieced it up. Should they consider moving InvestFest to another Black city? Because they really only do it in Atlanta. Yeah. The founders also sparked debate by saying that Earn Your Leisure isn't exclusively for Black investors. And they reaffirmed their commitment to Black wealth building, but they emphasized that their financial education is open to everyone.
Fraudulent.
Prompting a discussion about whether the brand is evolving beyond its original mission.
So I went down a rabbit hole. I was kind of pissed. I was like, yo, for this propagating this thing that the people who are on the bottom of the American social totem pole can just pull themselves up by the bootstraps and financially get themselves out of it towards liberation and freedom is
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
And they have a brand that they created, that they platformed, from what I saw. Known scammers and unknown scammers and fraudulent people. And I get it, because the president of the United States is a scammer. We have a scamming administration here. I get that. But for him, I saw one of them. From my understanding, he's the most vocal guy. I watched his mouth say, yo, I'm not on the Black thing anymore. In fact, I wasn't with the Black thing from the beginning anyway. And all the Black people, all y'all gonna do is criticize me and then want to get in for free. And I'm done. Done with what? What the did you do? Besides get the bag. You got your bag platforming and grifting.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's be clear about that. So where's your animus coming from on this anti-Black? I get it. This society runs on anti-Black, anti-brown, anti-Muslim, against poor people, make them the problems. That's how you become a true American. And all he did was go down that lane that's been well-oiled, well-paved, of people saying, oh, well, I'm crossing over now. I'm going to get this.
So the way I interpret it is, and I will say that Earn Your Leisure, especially early, they provide valuable information. I will say that. I've watched a lot of, I pay attention to them, and I do like Earn Your Leisure. But what is happening now, especially to Rashad, who said what you just mentioned, is the typical things that happens to these rich that see some sort of success in their lives, and now it's I want to be white, and I want to separate myself from where I came from. All they talked about was where they came from and how they came from being broke, and now look what they've built. And and the thing is, I could see this happening to him before this situation. Because I watch Earn Your Leisure, I watch it every Monday. I never watched an episode. I watched them, and I could see through his conversations and the way he starts to boast about certain things, and the way how he talks about people, and oh, y'all deserve to be broke, and you know what I'm saying? It's just if you don't do this, you deserve to be broke. And I just and I'm like, yo, this is getting to his head. I can see it in real time. I can see that his success is getting to his head, and I get the intention from the beginning was to help. Well, at least that's what they told us, that it was to help Black people become successful and learn about investing. And I think they have taught people about investing. They have done that. But now we're seeing the transition in real time that certain Black people make once they reach success, from pro-Black to conservatism. Conservatism.
Black
Well, I
to
think
aligning
it's-
themselves with whites and being like, well, you know, I was never about just helping black people anyway. It's like, I want to help everybody. And it's giving like all lives matter. It's giving that. And it's like, damn.
So
Like-
I think it's an emotional outcry. Like, so to be clear, like I know Rashad, right? I've met Troy before. I've had friends and colleagues who've been interviewed on Earn Your Leisure. Rashad and Troy started giving financial literacy in the Department of Education, right? To high school
That's dope.
kids. And from there, they created a podcast where they would offer up financial tools to people. That podcast became Earn Your Leisure. And in the era of podcasting, it grew
During COVID.
exponentially during COVID, right? Grew exponentially. In a matter of 2 years, I think they went from like no subscribers to like 2 million, 3 million subscribers. I think truth is truth. When you produce a thing like InvestFest, and I believe the number is 9 or 10 of the people highlighted in InvestFest over the last 3 years have been convicted of some form of financial fraud, right? Convicted or going to court for some. So you're giving grifters the space to grift.
So,
right?
and here's my question: where do you find the valuable information when that is the landscape?
Right. So what I think is happening is, and what I know is happening with their brand is that you're getting fair criticism from the black community.
As you should.
Right?
Yep.
As you should.
Yes.
Right? So you should be, you're a public brand that has a public institution. You went at Atlanta for not supporting you when really you're just butthurt because of the criticism that InvestFest has gotten because you are giving scammers a place to scam, right? So now the criticism comes, you have this InvestFest, they got the mayor to come on stage, which, you know, I don't understand how that was because the mayor was very defiant about his position and all of a sudden he's on stage.
I
But
get
you
it.
know,
You know
money
what
moves.
happened.
He's a shareholder.
Money.
Right.
You know what
Right,
that
money
is?
moves.
Yeah. He's invested.
And the currency that we often undervalue in this society now
It's attention.
is attention.
It's attention, right? So now InvestFest happens, and I know people that were there, right? And the criticism didn't stop. I think Rashad in particular, because we haven't heard from Troy about this, but we've heard from Rashad.
He's more of a
He's
the chiller.
right. Troy's chill.
character, yeah.
Rashad is on an emotional rant, and what I heard, because I heard the same thing, what I hear is somebody who's hurt about criticism that is valid.
Can
right?
do you know who some of the scammers are that they platform?
Jay Morrison.
Okay.
The guy that with Envy, Cesar
the real
Pena.
estate.
Oh, they platformed him.
Yes,
A bunch of
absolutely. A
people.
bunch of
For
people.
real?
And for being honest,
Wow.
A bunch of people.
yo, I guess maybe it's because of my position, right, of being in this criminal court, federal and state, but also being a child of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Growing up when I get down with the Bronx. Bronx is kind of like Brooklyn. state.
Definitely. We cousins.
Yo, you see how the average person is living. It's tough.
Yes.
So when you get these cats coming around with their snake oil,
Yes.
yo, I'm not with it.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
the op to me.
That's
Yeah.
the
And when I see him, I would tell him that, and I would tell the community that. Like it's our kids, our young kids. You teaching them about it's almost like I saw something years ago where Rockefeller was doing a cryptocurrency school and program.
Rockefeller.
Yeah, Rock Nation.
Rock Nation.
Oh, Rock Nation. Okay.
Saying I don't know, it's all whatever. But when you have an opportunity for people to be educated and you use that opportunity to line your pockets, you are the op.
Yep.
And they're not the first to do it. So
Yeah.
now, hey, I'm opening it up. It's going to be even more white people there next year.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So
What are you talking about?
InvestFest was the beginning of the end, in my opinion, for any fair ability to instruct anybody. Because you go to Atlanta, which is the scamming city of
Yes.
the universe, right? Of the
Literally.
universe, and you thought that this would be accepted on your terms. But here's the thing, and we all got to understand this. There's a science of black criticism. Like black people can see through your even if they're disenfranchised, even if their trauma
That's why I love the
resolved.
Bronx, the jury.
Yo, like a can see through your right? And so all of the galas and with tuxedos on don't mean nothing in the way that they thought it would mean.
Right.
And now you get Rashad saying, well, this ain't a black thing because he feels the ridicule from the black community about something that he should address.
What he said. He said, yo, I'm done.
I'm done with the black
And
thing.
yo, all y'all gonna want to do is get it for free anyway. That's a trope.
Yeah.
He's lost.
That's a racial.
He's
lost.
losing it. He's
losing
losing it.
himself.
And I could see it because, like I said, I watch them all the time, and I truly, I believe that in the beginning they had good intentions. When the money started flowing, it clouded their
it
judgment, and that's why I
changes you.
always say rich people are dumb as because they always let the money clout their original intention. As soon as they get the bag, is nothing else matters but the
but
bag.
they even this whole idea, Jack and the Beanstalk, I'm gonna make you rich overnight if you just listen to what I have to say and listen to these guys and pay this fee, and then you're gonna make generational wealth.
But the thing is
a bunch of
because I watch them all the time, that's not really their messaging. When I watch it, that they don't say, they actually talk about going against that. Like they're not trying to help you get rich overnight. But when we talk about Invest Fest, totally understand
that's where they jumped the shark.
The transformation.
What is their mission statement then?
Their mission statement. Well, I don't work for them.
No,
so
I'm just saying. I mean, just
but
in general.
essentially, they're supposed to be trying to teach Black people about investing. They're trying to basically
they started
open
out
the doors.
with financial literacy.
Yes,
so it wasn't even about
literacy and
investing. Like they were going into schools and doing like, do you know what a checking account is? Do you know what a savings account is? That's where it started.
So it started with them revolutionizing, hey guys, come into this system. This system that's burning down and everybody. Hey, come in. I'll show you how to do it nicely. Get the fuck out of here.
It really was given like white men in front of a PowerPoint.
And you know this better than anybody. The only refuge for a lost civilization is to come into the house and to be acclimated into the house. Phil always want to be house. Right? Because you feel like alignment and accreditation is validity in terms of this experience. And so so it could be like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It could be like, yo, because you got kids, I got kids, and I teach my kids financial literacy. Like they understand where a dollar comes from and how a dollar can be manipulated. But the difference in terms of their brand is when they moved it out of the schools and began to sensationalize it through podcasting.
Like
because
creating
again,
a festival.
My brother, Amin Ra Mashariki, he's the head of he's the head of AI for Jeff Bezos Fund, right? My brother, like from the Sandbox, he was interviewed on EYL. He's a leader in the AI space, and he was able to leverage their platform to have that conversation. So they had good moments in EYL where they actually was using it for the way it should be used. Yeah. But you said it, attention, sensationalization. It's just like, yo, if I post Serena Williams' backside on my page, I'm gonna get 500 likes. If I post a conversation you and I have about the Black liberation, it's gonna get 12 likes. So they started to yield to the like, to the clickbait.
So were they talking about, listen, these beautiful sisters right here, yo, y'all not gonna get the worth that you supposed to get. Why? Because you guys are alienated and put in this box as a system. You not, me, I'm not. That shit ain't got nothing to do with how bright you are or whatever. So are we discussing the racialized capitalism in which we live in? Are we discussing that? Because you know what? There's laws being passed that this deed theft and this ain't happen overnight.
It's been happening.
The Goldmans and the JP Morgans of the world and the Merrill Lynches, they not giving our parents investing money. Yo, when Roosevelt came along and said, hey, New Deal here, we weren't a part of that. All that shit is trickled down. So these guys are just bringing trickle down voodoo economics to people who need their dollars.
And they haven't ever had to deal with the voice of critical dissent.
No.
And that's why he's emotionally spiraling. He's spiraling because for the first time, he's having to deal with valid criticism and critiques on his brand that he has never had to deal with.
And listen, Negroes been making money since they were the money. Right?
They
Through colonialism and all that.
Facts.
Yo, the hood still look the same. And y'all little special Negroes with your special talents ain't changed about that.
And that's the message
and
that's up
healthy
right
guys ain't changing shit about
Yo,
that.
that's the message that's up right now, right? Like, that's what it is. We living in an era now, and you know this, even though this is an anti-intellectual era, this is still the era of the end of capitalism in the minds of our youth, right? Young people ain't with that no more.
Fact.
They're not with trading time for money or being exploited, their time being exploited. And so we see that in something that's all pomp and circumstance like InvestFest, that none of it is substantial or can change the critical climate of our communities. It's being criticized, and you see him spiraling. He's spiraling because he's caught in the cult of personality.
Yep.
He likes to wear the tailored suits. He likes to be in the Carnegie Hall, because they do the Carnegie Hall too. I don't know if you know that with Robert Smith and them, right? They're there. They're centered there.
And they gotta this how white America looks at black and brown communities. They need a facilitator. They need a liaison. So now if the numbers are, oh, you're getting criticized. Hey man, hey, Mr. Earn Your Leisure.
Because you may lose your shit.
These guys, hey, we don't need you anymore, man. Hey, because we want to get all of the fish in the net. And too many fish are dropping through the net now.
Yeah.
And I watched the episode after InvestFest, because, you know, they do an episode every Monday. And they spent a whole segment talking about incredible press run for InvestFest. You know, we had beef with the mayor. We had people. I'm just like, incredible press run.
Shit.
I'm sitting here watching. I'm just like, wrap this up, because I don't want to hear about this incredible press run for InvestFest where you had a singles night where people came to find their significant other.
Wait, hold on, wait. They have a singles night.
Yes, they have a singles night.
That's what I'm saying.
Then they have the gala night where everybody got to dress up and be. It's just like, what the is this gala for? I don't.
Where's the proceeds going?
Yeah, where's the proceeds going? Can we follow where the proceeds go for this?
Yeah.
Why are we supposed to be learning about financial literacy, but now we're also incorporating find your husband, find your wife in this room.
Earn your husband.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that's literally. I wouldn't be surprised if they brand it as that next year.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know Troy must be fuming at Rashad at this point, because that interview that you saw, that's a brand killer right there. Like that, you don't come back.
So I saw that.
It looked like Kanye.
I it was like, what the is this?
Yeah, that's a brand killer.
And I bet you they probably be arguing about that. I mean, that again, well, I'm assuming that his personality is that way to address.
That's a brand killer.
Troy, but I don't know. But yeah.
But I mean, my last word on this is the criticism is valid. You had people up there who are known and convicted grifters.
I didn't even know that.
You know what I'm saying? And not just one or two, but you really based the conference on this work.
Yep.
And you should be ashamed of yourself for doing so and not expecting the black community to have valid criticism. And really, how dare you look at the criticism and then turn around and say, well, it ain't a black thing no more. Like, yo, bro, are you out your mind?
Yeah.
Like, so that's he's losing himself. And I pray for the brother, because like I said, I know him. I pray for him. But yeah.